Make it so.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
What is going on here, number one? Engage!
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Slow to impulse speed.
Stay calm, everyone. What is going on here, number one?
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Strange.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I shouldn't be so confident.
I'm picking up an unusual disturbance in the nearby quadrant.
Stay calm, everyone.
I shouldn't be so confident.
Engage! On screen.
What the hell is going on?
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Strange. Make it so.
I don't know.
No response, sir.
Enlarge and identify.
In my opinion, sir, they're gibberish.
I'm picking up an unusual disturbance in the nearby quadrant.
Engage. Move to intercept.
I shouldn't be so confident. Slow to impulse speed.
I would rather outthink them than outfight them.
Slow to impulse speed.
Stay calm, everyone.
I shouldn't be so confident.
Let's investigate. Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough! Engage. Let's investigate. Engage.
Slow to impulse speed.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I would rather outthink them than outfight them.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I don't know.
We must intervene.
Slow to impulse speed.
What the hell is going on?
I'm picking up an unusual disturbance in the nearby quadrant.
On screen. Make it so.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I would rather outthink them than outfight them.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live in Technicolor from the beautiful Hollywood Hills, California. The show where the total retail price of their advice is $0. This is Timelines Talks. Featuring guest musical performers, Metallica frontman, oh my, it's Stars and Garters. Also featuring, hey buddy, you're a tier 9. Look out, it's Automaton 2000. And now, from Spreadsheet City, here's your host, Captain Idol.
Yes, welcome ladies and gentlemen to another edition of Timelines Talks, the premium #1 show, the premium Elusive Treasures of Timelines Talk shows, developed all... No, fucked it.
You've been doing so well.
I was trying to be creative on the fly. This is the show dedicated to Star Trek Timelines, the mobile game, which you're probably all playing right now instead of watching this, and good on you, thank you very much. I am joined by my two co-hosts this week, Automaton 2000 and Stars and Garters. This week, we will be talking about various things. It's Disco Mirror Mega, a bit more mirror than Disco. Elusive Treasures got a little bit more elusive as the finish line was brought forward. Express Delivery Courier Burnham arrives as the month's mega reward. Rah delivers on the honor pack, and we will have the return of SHOWDOWN. And who will you pick as the replacement for Deanna Troi as ship's counselor? First off, a little bit of news, a little bit of game news. We have forced downtime coming tomorrow. So I can't remember what the time was. At some point, probably before the event starts, you would hope so anyway, the game will be down for maintenance. So if anyone's recalling Voyagers or shuttles, get them back, check on the announcement page, get them back before they come in. I actually hadn't thought of that before to remind us in the pre-show.
It's at 1 p.m. Eastern.
1 p.m. Eastern, which is something.
Which is something for those of us who use civilized times.
Yeah, those of us who invented time.
We already have a few drinkers in chat, Namer and Loki. So, bottoms up, gentlemen.
Chin chin.
Oh, this is going to go well.
Wonderful, welcome. Yes, this week we also have congratulations to our event winners. Last week was a full skirmish, a faction event for Booker and Grudge, and because it's a faction event, Mechalobe. With a quite a tense race in the front. There was Woos was trying to grab the number one spot, but I think the wallet opened slightly more for Mechalobe as he secured yet another number one victory. Yes, reached down into the couch cushions and pulled out the pennies. But the heroic story is always some of those people that don't come first. Go on.
Because he's going to get the whole segment, don't worry. But a couple other names in there that I wanted to shout out. In 26th place, we have GoBolts07.
Oh, yes.
I know he's a Timelines Talk viewer, so congratulations. And in 34th place, Revolutionary Damar, who probably rode the back of his newly immortalized Damar to victory in that event. So congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he was just screaming for Cardassia as he went.
As he went into that firefight. But the story, the story was a good friend of Timelines Talks, Mr. El Marto, moderator on the Star Trek Timelines Discord as well, raced in for number 5, and it was a tense finish. And Auto, you were literally there with the finish line with him, getting those final VP points to try and get that top 5 achievement.
Yeah, it was an exciting thing. If you've never finished at the top of faction events, you probably at least already know that they involve dilithium. Now, factions are the one kind of event where you can kind of race a bunch of points at the end. You can use dilithium to complete shuttles, to send out a bunch, etc. So, yeah, Mr. El Marto was hovering somewhere, I think, in 6th place. I think with an hour to go, number 4, 5, and 6 were separated by like a fraction of a percent. They were all within like one shuttle of each other. So it was a tight race. And he's in chat with us in Discord and he's saying, okay, this is how much dilithium I have. You know, I don't want to spend more. Can I make it? And we're crunching the numbers and we're looking at, you know, historical scores and this sort of thing. And we're like, well, you know, if you're not sure, maybe don't go for it. He's like, I may never have this chance again. So we said, okay. So we locked ourselves in voice chat. And we calculated down, you know, if it takes me 6 seconds to complete a shuttle with dilithium, send it out, how many victory points would it take? And we did all calculations. So we said, okay, you're going to need to start with about 15 minutes left to go. So he decided to go for it with 15 minutes left. He starts tapping, and I was trying to keep him updated, you know, refreshing the leaderboard and saying, all right, number 4 is moving now. All right, they've stopped. Oh, now number 3 is moving. All right, this is your pace. And he was telling me, he goes, I bet you can hear my heart beating through the microphone. He was really, because he said he may never get this chance again to rank so highly. So he pulled it out right at the end. Congratulations to his competition too. I mean, anyone could have taken, that was a tight race, but Mr. El Marto brought home the victory with 5th place.
Bravo.
I have to admit, you were giving that description of how it went down. All I could think of was that Enterprise episode First Flight, where Trip and Archer have to like egg Robinson on while he's breaking the warp 4 barrier, and it's just like they're doing it like undercover, while so no one else notices that they're doing it. And it's like, no, you can do it. Come on, you got to balance the information, make sure you can do it. You can do it, and then they do it. That's all I can picture now. I was thinking of Martin, I think of A.G. Robinson.
Oh well. Hopefully the character, not the
good
card.
show version,
Yeah.
not the card, not the card.
El Marto,
that's too
Voyager
offensive.
number 500. Congratulations.
No, worth a win.
Love you,
Worth going
buddy.
for top 5 on that one. So
You know,
congratulations.
that was a pretty competitive event overall.
It
I
really
mean,
was,
people
wasn't it?
Really wanted that cat on their roster.
It was crazy because I was running shuttles and I was being quite lax, thinking I'll just run 5 shuttles this time, and I'll just, usual sort of absent-minded. I'll coast into 5th, and it was kind of getting to the last day, and I went, oh, I'm not going to make this. And I didn't. I completely shot off by 1,600. But, 1,500 rank went over 700,000 VP, which is not unheard of. But for a middling voyage card at the start of a mega is uncommon. People really wanted that cat.
Now, you see, Idol, you're saying that, but Booker has this amazing capability where it's a 14-second initialization with instant damage and a cloak trigger. Now, I don't know. That's really, really, really
14
rare.
seconds, you
And
say? Holy moly.
It just goes. you can't get performance like that anywhere else.
So that was the event.
That was the event. It was a good event. Okay. Moving on, we have a care package in your stores if you haven't checked already. If you're one of the people that don't habitually check the store for every new change like we do, there is a care package waiting for you for the usual token, voyage token, some crons, and something else. There was 4 in it this week.
Requisition sheet.
Oh, and some
Supply
shit, yeah.
kit.
Supply kit, yeah,
I think
that's
it's
right.
supply kit is now.
To add
Oh,
to
did
my...
you I wasn't listening to the first 3 things he said, so I just threw a 4th one out there.
Go claim those now. In a few weeks, was it a few weeks ago, we had our On a Suicide Pact, and we followed on a few of those with some people.
We had our what?
On a Suicide Pact?
Our what?
Oh, sorry. I haven't got the right page on. There we go. I love honor. I demand honor. I'm getting there. I'll work it out. I'm trying to get through my notes first. Then I'll do gags. When I let you guys talk, then I'll do all the gags.
You just sit there booping buttons while we're doing the hard
Exactly.
work.
That's all I'm gonna. Well, all of I'll just keep going. Oh, I should have done that for Marto. Anyway, yes. To follow on from our Honor Suicide Pact that we did a few weeks ago, where Otto very, very bravely and wisely spent sights on Admiral Nechayev, and you haven't regretted that since. Rah Racing has come back to us with his own Honor Suicide Pact, and I'll just read the forum post that he put up, and he says, Honor Pact in honor of, so... With Aviator coming, can't pronounce anything today. Aviator coming to completion in the near future, I thought I'd pick crew associated with Timelines, talks, hosts, and guests. I've stated many times that I have no affinity with Star Trek, so thought you could be an inspiration for some choices. Captain Idle, 1 of 5 Age of Sail Riker. I think you like Riker. You are very right. I do like Riker. I also have Little John Riker, 1 of 5, but he's too good. I prefer not to have this option chosen because, a 1 of 5 star crew takes so much time. It would leave me with just Picard to complete the collection. Stars and Garters. 2 out of 5 Niners Wharf. Was between this and Will Scarlet, also 2 of 5. Time to make some headway on the baseball collection. Only 2 immortalised there. Automaton 2000. Not sure which character you like best. I do have a 1 of 5 Trelane, but...
Chakotay.
Skycap.
If you got a temporal prisoner Chakotay, that's the one to go for.
Skycap 3 of 5, Admiral Janeway. Had to look up who Voyager crew were. Plenty of options, but not that many who have multiple stars. Under 50 base, under 200 Voyagers. My 5th star I ever fully equipped. Actually use her in Daily Arena. Stellar Ice. You know who it's going to be. 2 of 5, Bell Wrights, Jadzia, Dax. I already have Honey Bear and Klingon Bride Immortalised, but with a 2 of 5 Lieutenant Commander 2, felt this would be a nice choice here. Great art. Big McLarge Huge. Not sure what character you like best. DC Pilot. Who is Big's favourite character?
Loaxana Troi.
Okay, perfect. DC Pilot. 2 of 5, Captain Rachel Garrett. Yar was a pilot, and so is the above-mentioned Lieutenant Commander Dax, but my other multi-star option is 2 of 5 EV Suit Archer, but I like Garrett more. I would also add point to the Diplomat collection and while I'm busy citing poor crew. Did I miss anyone? Did he miss anyone? Oh, yeah, Wicked Realm Games Ben counts. 2 of 5, Augment Commander O'Brien, a Timelines original. So, whenever you do a new one, I'm ready. Just need input from Auto and BMLH. BMLH?
Big, large, McHuge.
Ah, well, very nice. On who their favourite crew series is. Yeah, that makes sense now. I've read the whole sentence. And then hopefully I can ID a multi-5-star crew to represent. Initially, my choices were going to be Kung Fu Sarek, Mira Landry, Niners Wharf, and Augment Picard. All for collection reasons. I thought that was quite nice. I really liked that post. I say, Auto, you highlighted out to us, and I thought, yeah, that was quite cool.
That guy's alright. I like him.
I feel like the time to strike is going to be right after the next honor sale when everyone's flush with citations and they're going to think, I probably won't miss 3 or 4 if I go have a little fun, and maybe we'll get more participants that way.
Definitely.
You know, you're playing with the house money. What could go wrong?
If you're
And
saving
then you
up...
realise that you've woke up and you're like, oh, I cited Trelane.
You know, if you're going to be playing with about 400k worth of honor, you know, why not? Why not? Just ignore those good voyages. What do you need them for? What's that going to get you that Captain Rachel Garrett won't? Okay, stone cold silence there as we move on.
That's what it deserves.
This week sort of concludes the Elusive Treasures. I almost want to say it's a bit of a saga. There's been ups and downs with this, from rewards not quite being what they were to the finishing time ending literally a day sooner. So we had that happen. The Elusive Treasures faction event, which if you sent 50 shuttles off, you would get a disappointing pull. Sorry, an Elusive Treasures pull. Came to an end a day earlier than it should have, and they did reimburse people that didn't quite do it, including one of my alts who sent about 2 shuttles, forgot about it, and went, "Oh, I've got an Elusive Treasures, fantastic."
And
well,
what did you get?
For you, then.
Which glorious glittering gold did you get from that?
Well, it was from my Nightmare account, so it was all purples, and I didn't even look. I just airlocked them. So we'll get onto that in a couple of weeks' time.
That's a bad existence.
It is so fun. So, guys, do you want to talk? Stars, do you want to talk to me about what you had a bit of experience with this Elusive Treasures pack? You had a sort of a bit of contention with it.
Yes, so I took the $8.99 price point one, which was 3 one-times pulls, which at the time said that it guaranteed a behold featuring a limited time crew, i.e. one that was not in the portal. And I believe 2 out of 3 of them were that. That's how I've got 1 out of 4 Groom Wharf, who was one of the crew I was missing out on. But one of them was all portal crew. And I was like, that seems a bit odd. Surely it does say guaranteed in there, right? And I had to tip my glasses off and go and then put them back on and go, yeah, no, it still says guaranteed on there. And then a few other people in the forums picked it up, and Shan was like, let me get on that. And I think within about an hour or 2 of it going live, they'd had to fix it. But well, for the foolhardy like myself, we had already bitten. And we were advised to contact support on our behalf and sort of go, what am I looking at for this? And I'm pretty sure that most people were either given an option of amount of deal equal to what you would have gotten for that price point, or you would have gotten. I personally just went for a Google Play Store refund and got the amount back. How offended you are on this will depend on how much of a spender you are, I feel. Looking back on it, I suppose I should have been more offended than I was, because it was, I don't want to say misleading, I would say maybe just poorly worded. But it's that sort of thing of, it only takes 1 or 2 times of it being poorly worded to make it feel like it's misleadingly worded.
Yeah, we had an email about this, or Arrow from the Fairhaven fleet got out to us, and he sent us a message saying, "I just finished watching regular timelines talks. Regular timelines talks. Is there a premium timelines talks?" Anyway, sorry. It was a fun show.
Timelines.
The prime lines that
That's
you
true.
were watching.
That's true. It was a fun show, but I must think you were too easy on TP. I wanted to write something like this on the forum, but rather than get our fleet trusted opinions first and cool off a bit. I love Star Trek and I think the game is great, but this is not a small independent private developer. They own many games and there is no excuse for constantly misleading players. They make the same mistakes, and he puts that in quotes, over and over. Problems with the game engine, development, etc. I can understand, but this is not hard to accurately describe a pack and its chances. Keeping it intentionally vague and misleading, they seem to do this all the time. Realising this saves money, and then I'm happy I can play free to play and just do the really good deals. Oxymoron in there. Anyway, but it just gets me so angry. But P.S. I did not buy any of these. I've grown wiser, and my fleet talks to me to warn about me about those deals, and I'm very grateful for that. So I think, it is, I don't recall the last Elusive Treasures causing this much contention, but this does seem to be a bit more of a talking point with this one.
Yes, as I recall, the last one, I think they had the $45.99 deal where you could just get like a 10 times or two 10 times, and I don't think they had this $8.99 deal or whatever. And I think maybe that sort of, I don't know. My memory on this is like, because I didn't even look at the Elusive Treasures at the time. I was like, that's a silly bit of value. But the fact that I had a few that I wanted out of Portal, that was what tempted me. But no, I don't recall it being quite this messy last time.
Yeah.
But if we asked Stellar Eyes, she would remember exactly what the deals were.
It's true.
Good deal.
Why is she on here?
Oh no, she had her say last week. We got the bad deal on that one.
So there were a multitude of tiny issues last week. I think you covered a few of them. The achievements started late, ended early. There was some, I think, notes incorrect. There was and that doesn't really, none of that really bothers me. It was the lead up to Thanksgiving. I'm sure most of us at work had our minds on things other than that.
Absolutely.
But as Riero says, the one thing that did bother me was that it was misleading. You say when it comes to money, if you're gonna say what's on the label and you don't deliver it, that's not okay. That being said, they rectified it, like you said. I think within an hour, they let people get a full refund or the deal purchase price. So I don't want to rake them over the coals, but that when money enters into it and you promise one thing and don't deliver, that's not okay. So hopefully we won't see that again. And actually, tangentially, the thing that bothered me most of all was having 5 deals up at once, because every time you open the client, you had to click through all 5 of them. I know we've talked about this a lot, and at the beginning, we're kind of excited to have the different options and price points and stuff, but it's getting to be quite a lot to click through. So hopefully they also reevaluate that.
Do you have the thing where you'll just sort of dismiss the pop-up? Don't flick through them, you'll just dismiss it. And then you'll be doing something, send a shuttle to calculate and voyage, and it'll just pop up with the other 2. And it's like, right, and now I have got to flick through them. As someone that does, occasionally go for those, it's still annoying. I would rather...
So
Go on.
I'm going to give you a sick trick. Are you ready for these mad hints?
Hit me
Buy
with
them all.
So, if you want to avoid them opening at random when you're doing your shuttles, when you're checking your dailies, what you have to do is when the first one pops up and you have your little arrows, click through all of them so that you're registered as seeing them, and then they won't do it.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't stop a DYC popping up, because that is a separate deal. But that is one way of stopping it from being like, hey, I'm doing my 3rd shuttle. Hey, do you want to... Please. Please, God.
Do you want mirror Stamets?
I do, but I'm not going to pay $8.99 for them. No. I'd rather throw away honor stupidly on it.
And why not? So yeah, that kind of happened. We kind of hope they'll... We said we were going to rake them over coals a little bit this week, but we do kind of hope they'll learn with the wording a little more. And like Auto says, it was Thanksgiving weekend. There were maybe a few things sort of left under the rug there.
I'm glad to see the temporary achievement back, and this is a real small one. And actually, they dropped it on the start of a faction event, so it was trivially easy to complete, which was also nice. So now we've had sort of 4 sets of temporary achievements, 2 with the crew, 2 with other various rewards. Any opinions on which kind of setup you guys prefer?
I think, this was good. I like that they're experimenting with different things, like they're offering these elusive deals and then saying, here's a chance for free-to-play players can get, a little chance to see what that's like. I like the crew as well. And I don't know, I'd like to see what else they do with this as well. Maybe even something a little bit smaller, send 50 shuttles, get 500 merits, or,
I have a slightly controversial opinion. I want you guys to tell me if I'm being crazy or not. True or false? Between the Star Trek Day temporary achievements and the Bones McCoy temporary achievements, would you like putting those two together? Was that more exciting than, say, the Enterprise or Caregiver / Warp Theorist Mega?
Yes.
Because especially with the McCoy one, you got a 4 out of 5 crew, and he was arguably better than some of the crew we got 4 out of 5 in those megas.
I think it's interesting how they've experimented with it, because they like you say, they've done Bones, they've done Homesteader Janeway, and they actually gave us 1 less star for Homesteader Janeway, so they're kind of playing around to see who would then dip into that Tuesday pack on that time, which, monetary reasons whatsoever.
Whenever you give X and then later you give X minus 1,
Yeah.
oh my god, I've lost so much. No, you're still getting it for free.
Yeah.
Like,
Well-
God forbid you get 3 free copies of a crew instead of 4, But
Yeah.
Well, let's put things into perspective. That's 2 more copies than you'll get from almost any event crew, unless you're gonna start like doing your racehorse and he's coming in fit like you and Marto were. Like, unless you want to throw a lot of deal event packs and hope you get lucky, like temporary achievements are kind of a lot more reliable way of getting a crew at 3 or 4 out of 5 compared to normal event crew. And so far they've been pretty decent. Like, I don't think either of them. Well, Bones was an interesting fringe case. I think
Yeah.
was a bit of a exercise in calculated insanity, and I'm happy about that. But like,
I like that they keep mixing it up, because you have the event to grind, and I know a lot of longtime players feel that it's sort of the same setup each time. So for them to offer a different crew, different rewards, one you could finish your 6-pack, one you could finish with a $9.99 deal with the site, and I was back with McCoy. I like that they're all been a little bit different. It's a different flavor each time. The rewards are different. The tasks to complete are different. So I'm happy with that. It's a nice contrast with the week to week event schedule.
Despite the technical problems they've had this time with ending slightly earlier and actually starting later as well. I think the last time they offered temporary achievements, it actually went flawlessly, because they said, "Oh, we fixed that bug where it doesn't turn up till your next reset," and then it came back in again. So yeah, okay, we'll see where it goes from there. I think we're having a bit of a bad section, good section, bad section sandwich here. Auto, you've discovered something recently, or everyone sort of chipped in on this one. We've noticed a few sort of irregularities.
Well, I didn't notice them, but let me try to give you the TLDR. And I can't believe we buried it this deep in the show, because the 3 of us are big stats nerds. I mean, that's sort of how we interact with the game.
Those numbers.
All the crew, the spreadsheets, the stats and stuff. So,
little known fact: when Otto was meeting up with his wife, he was like, "I have a number 3 dip rank." And she was like, "I have a number 2 dip rank," and that was how the romance started.
all right, I'm not going to go down that. I'm not going to go down that white rabbit hole.
And she was like, "Did you know I have an amazing command roll?"
Yeah, her proficiencies are ample. Let's say that.
Terrible traits, though.
So, what happened is we had gotten in contact with Temporal Agent 7, who runs the data core, because what was going on was our ranks were slightly off from their ranks, and people would often say, "How come this crew is ranked here in the big book and ranked there on data core?" So the big issue, we thought, was the bonuses were not applied the same. Now, we apply maximum bonuses, so if you complete all the collections in the game, this is what your crew will look like. And they were applying, I think, just a flat bonus across from Starbases, I want to say. So when we started digging into that, Temporal Agent 7 found a long list, 699 differences of stat ranks we had in existing spreadsheets, like the level 100 spreadsheet that was maintained for a long time by Peachtree Rex and now Paladin 27. The big book, a lot of different resources have used this existing list. And so he found 699 differences from over 200 crew. These stats are off a little bit. These stats are off a little bit. In some cases, whoever was running the spreadsheet had just copied it in wrong. In some cases, pardon me, they were listed wrong in the announcements, and they had released just with different stats. And so we went through this now, and well, I say we, Idle did a lot of the groundwork on that.
About 3
No
hours
Name
this
Namer-
morning, just
No Name
plugging
Namer was
in
helping us
new
with that.
stats. Ugh.
And your Gary 7 is not a useless Voyager. Everyone is just about where they should be. There were not a lot of big changes. In fact, I have a couple of highlights here. The biggest differences in terms of golds, Portal 63, Phoenix Cochran, and Lieutenant Commander Jadzia gained about 20 voyage ranks, which is not a big deal. They were not strong Voyagers to begin with. There were a few purples, Denatra, Incognito, Kirk, Recaltroy, who gained 30 or more stat ranks, but again, they're all very poor Voyagers. So it's a very long list. But suffice it to say, all of these stats should be confirmed correct going forward. In the big book, in data core should be synced up. So we are going to, when we're finished vetting this very long list, we will post it on the forums on Reddit, on the WRG forum. So if you're running a personal spreadsheet, you can go ahead and make sure that all that stuff is synced up. Although with that many changes, you might just want to copy one of the existing ones and then make your changes to it afterwards. So
the one that I run, the hyper backend sheet, which is on the forums, you can find on some of the discords as well. That is now spent a long time. That is now up to date, synced with the data core. That gives you all your voyage pairs and things like that. So, if you want to use that one, I've sent all the changes to Paladin as well. So hopefully, eventually, we'll all kind of get on the same level. But yeah. Are we done? Okay, end of section. Moving on.
I'll be honest. Like, I had my first day back at work today, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm on my break, and I should check and see how the guys are doing." 100 messages. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, this morning was interesting.
Generally, it means one of two things: either two people have talked about like a tier 7 crew and like argued vociferously about whether or not they should be tier 6 or tier 8, or the entire back end is wrong, in which case it was the latter. But it was definitely interesting to wake up to.
I mean, it wasn't.
I don't know how you managed to crack through all that in just 3 hours. Like 699 crew is not a small amount.
You get into a mindset where you're just like, I'm going to get this done and just get through it. Put a podcast on, get on with it. It's one of those things.
To reiterate, a lot of these, like the vast majority, were only 2 or 3 point differences in proficiency.
I mean,
so
the whole difference, you're not going to notice it. If you've updated your sheets, you'll see somewhat move 1 or 2 ranks.
Yeah,
the most. But anyway. Okay, so we'll probably have a little bit more. Go on.
One of them, I'll shut this guy up because he never gets any love. Cyrus Redblock. I'm Cyrus Redblock. He is up to
Roadblock.
He's back up inside the top 30 Voyagers. He's 3.5 years old. And if you've ever built him, you'll remember that stretch from level 90 to level 100 where he needs like 25 4-star components, a lot of clothing patterns and everything, and you just replicate the last pieces because it's so expensive. Now you can finally put him on your Voyages if you're still running purples.
He's always been an outlier.
I will not.
Okay. Wise words from Stars, though. This month, we have the actual start of our Discovery Mega, our Mirror Mega. What's going on? It's so, those of us in the big book have been talking for a long time about Discovery crew, and when will their event bonus stop making them stop counting towards their tier score? And I believe, and we've spoken about this is the day the disco died, because this is the first Discovery Mega that does not have the disco bonus. Only disco crew for that particular event count towards it. Burnham does not for everyone, only Courier Burnham the recurring, who we'll get onto in a moment. So it's an interesting one because this is a mirror mega where you're collecting discovery cards essentially.
And yet, so far, none of them have been Discovery Mirror Crew, which is interesting.
Yeah, we have 5 featured Discovery crew and 0 featured Mirror crew, but both of the discount packs are all Mirror crew, and there were 2 Mirror LTOs. So it's like they're trying to sell us Mirror crew, but they're trying to make us win Discovery crew.
Yeah, and it's just a very this mega is strange. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Like I like where season 3 of Discovery's gone. I like the idea of I like the mirror universe. It's always fun to see everyone vamping up and acting like a baddie. But this theme really seems scattershot to me because you could have gone the obvious route of, oh well, we're missing a few like Mirror Crew. Like they had like a Discovery comic book that had like Mirror Arium and Mirror Cornwell and stuff like that. I was like, well, that would have been interesting. No, we're missing Mirror Awushikan. We could have had like undercover Tyler who's about to kill Burnham. That would have been an easy pick. No. Instead, we get Discovery Season 3 crew who have nothing to do with the Mirror Universe. And the one character who might have something to do with the Mirror Universe in Discovery Season 3 is so far conspicuously absent.
And by the way,
for those of
you guys can figure this out by now, but there might be spoilers ahead. I think the general policy is if the card is in game, we can talk about the episode, the season, and stuff. So, but just a heads up.
Yes.
So like for like minor spoilers, but basically in episode 5, there is a character who intimates that he knows more about the Mirror Universe than other people would. And I thought, okay, well, this is probably going to be like someone that will be saying, it's like, well, so far we've got Mr. I live in an office, Sahil, and we've got Booker, and we've got Burnham, and we've got, I believe, who's our super?
Linus, and then Stamets is the other featured.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, none of those are the card I was expecting to summon, especially because he was quite a cool card who I want. Instead, we have Voyager 160 Booker, and we have Voyager
180?
180, God. Ugh. And it's like, I know a lot of people go mad for cats, I do. But if you're gonna try and make me go for crew... Like, here's the thing, I don't mind going for bad crew as long as they at least feel like they are part of a cohesive theme and, like, the writing is going in a good direction. But so far, this feels like 2 megas just hit each other, and we're just looking at it like, I guess?
It is it is a strange sort of mix of theme to crew, definitely.
I will shout out, someone said, well, the base is great. He's a number 5 base, it's 1500, why would you poo-poo that? All you care about is Voyager score. Well, I went back and crunched the numbers because I'm not hurting for command bases. I was asking around in our Discord and a couple other Discords, is anyone hurting for command bases? We had the Keiko campaign recently. 4 of the last 5 events have had a 1500 command base. So I went back and checked. And 13 of the last 15 months have had a command base over 1,200 without bonuses. 5 of them had multiple command bases available, all new crew. That's not even counting what you get through Beholds, what you get through existing crew and 6-packs and all that stuff. So, yeah, if you want to collect big bases, I mean, these are your events. Participation will probably be, well, I say a little lower, and then again, the cat proves me wrong, but outside of that, that's kind of all they are. Like, are we getting a Courier mega, or a Federation mega anytime soon? So what exactly are we using that command base for? So, I mean, if you want to knock yourself out, but in a vacuum and to consider everything else, these are not primo crew.
Yeah, in fact, I have a bit of a theory about this, which is that so it's interesting to me that all the event crews so far have been like, as I say, like pretty air voyages with big bases, and all of the pack crew have been mirror. And it feels like they didn't want to do another straight disco mega because the pool was too big. Like I think it's nearly about 100 now, and including everyone with the disco tag. So they didn't want to do like an overblown mega with too many crew because then you have to get like your variant bonuses and such like that. But at the same time, they didn't want to give out new mirror crew because they can put those in packs. Someone like Mirror Chekhov, who is, for instance, available right now in a discount pack, because hey, you need that collection. We just dropped that. You should go and get these crew. And it's like, well, yes, but I don't really want to throw dilithium on it when there's a mirror mega where there should be mirror crew.
Well, no, isn't that kind of ingenious? Might be overselling it. It's a clever little thing. You create the problem. You need these crew for the collection, and then you turn around and sell the answer. So, I mean, you can say that's clever marketing
Yeah.
because they have an ongoing season and a contract with CBS. So, of course, they want to feature
Yeah.
Discovery, but they also want to sell pieces to the new collection that they added. So I can understand that. I agree thematically. I'm not getting it yet. I mean, we're only a week in, and we have what 3 of the 5 golds. It just doesn't crew wise. It's not fitting together for me. Maybe the story will pull the bow tight.
It's
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
I'm hoping so. No, is it because if you have a look at the actual event blurb what they gave out on the announcement of the thing, it's like time travel comes with many consequences. The chaos of the temporal anomaly crisis has made this all too clear, but also masked a certain physical consequence from coming to light. Until now, work with members of Discovery's crew to learn the truth, save countless lives, and prevent the Orion Syndicate and an Empress of the Mirror Universe from taking advantage. And it's like, I don't see that from the crew that we've got here so far. Like I see Discovery's crew, but
Yeah,
just,
I
don't know, unless their award-winning writer is gonna just like blow it out of the water, I don't see it. Sorry, Adle, I'm stepping all early.
You're okay.
You're a lovely
no,
man.
it's fine. I will never
You're a
stop.
lovely
I
man.
will never stop one of your rants. What I was going to say.
It also, well, yeah. Sorry, my turn.
Shut your goddamn mouth!
I mean, look, since you just quoted it, I'm gonna pick it up. Work with members of Discovery's crew. Now, I've not seen the whole season, but I didn't know Sahil and Booker, are they like the Booker and Grudge? Is he a member of Discovery's crew? Is Sahil sitting?
Spoilers. Don't want to get into it because I know you've not seen it. So
Booker hangs out. Sahil is in 1 episode so far.
Yeah, so
We'll-
I'm not
yeah.
seeing the members of Discovery's crew.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
And no,
We've seen
we do
Burnham.
have
yeah,
we do have this new 3-star Booker there,
do.
but
we'll get there.
so
What I was going to say was if it does seem like because Discovery was a bit up in the air about when it was going to come out, I wonder if that affected the scheduling somewhat for this mega, because I think they want to capitalize on it when it was on, but because there was no concrete timescale until probably what was it, about 2 months ago, they actually announced, oh, it's coming out in sort of late October. So I wonder if that sort of changed their plan somewhat to say, oh right, we need to do this now, because I wonder if they'd actually planned it for a bit later. So maybe there's a bit of a rush to impede us to get this in here.
Aha, he is Discovery's crew. Shut up, Otto, you moron.
Oh, what do you mean? Hang on, sorry, what?
How have you gotten so many fucking
wrong
golds?
button.
I went 40 patches out today.
I bet this one.
Shut up, Otto, you moron.
There we go. Anyway. Let's talk about Courier
Too much
Burnham.
power in your hands. My
He
God.
just remembered he had a quota to fill, so he just threw 3 of them in there.
I can get paid now, it's fine. I get my CBS money. No.
Well, I want to kind of you put something down. I want to pick it up. So, if it is a case of they wanted to capitalize on it, I would have been more than fine with them waiting until February or even a little bit later for the season to be wrapped up, for any potentially spoilerific cards to be out of the realm of spoiler territory. I don't think any of the cards we have are in that territory really, but to be fair, we don't know who's coming. And I would have been fine with a random trait mega, or hell, just throw out another TOS mega, throw out another do a random one, do a TNG mega, do a Saboteur mega, do a Brat mega. I don't think anyone would have minded. I don't think anyone would have actually minded.
Give me those rascals, crew. Come on.
Exactly, that would have been great. And I feel like we wouldn't have this weird thing where this feels almost slapped together. Like, again, we have to wait until the writing comes out, and maybe that'll redeem it all. But so far, this doesn't feel cohesive and put together as well as some other megas so far.
All right, I'm looking for a little chat feedback because this is something I just asked the fellas a couple hours ago. I think we may have talked about it before on the show too. An idea for a mega: if you could get a different gold at the recurring threshold each time, or they just theme the rewards around an episode. So, say Facets, where Jadzia lets all of her hosts out to the different DS9. Say, and you could get, the DAX version with Quark and with Cisco and stuff, either as the event reward or the recurring, or what was the other one? The Rascals. You can get a different one of those each week. Would you like something like that? Or do you prefer the standard setup we have where you get 4 copies of the gold?
I would adore a themed mega that was so tight like that. Like you say, Facets would be excellent. I think that's a really strong contender. And those would be strong crew because they'd all count as variants of Dax. Rascals would be a fun one, although we haven't got that many. I feel like we have some child crew in the game, but like it's not quite as. We're not quite sure where we sit on that. But I think can you guess what I'm going to say? I would love a Parallels mega.
Oh,
the holographic Rios is
very good.
I think that one's a slam dunk, but a
Give me drunk
Parallels
tactical
mega
need
where it's
there.
a different Wharf every week.
Oh, do you want a Wharf advent calendar? This is what you want? Every day open is a different variant. This is Wharf and Spot. This is Wharf painting. This is Wharf on the beach.
Guess what? If you could have like a mega event where all I could get, everyone else is playing their own mega event, but there's no mega event for me where all I collect is 1-star Wharfs.
Artisan mega event. Handcrafted.
I want like Wharf where he's making the little sailboat. I want Wharf where he's got Spot. I want Parisi Squares Wharf. I want it all. Give me that mega. But holographic Rios, I think that's inspired. I would love that.
Drunk tactical Rios is the best Rios.
Oh yeah, it's pretty great.
All the stats are in Spanish. You can't actually understand the card, unless you're Spanish. Obviously, you can't understand the card art.
No. That's how you make it good. If you're Spanish, then it translates it back into English.
Yeah.
So you double don't understand.
Checks your phone's region, sees where you're from, and just adjusts it accordingly.
Oh, you know what would be another good one? Infinite Regress. The one where 7 is possessed by all the different voices. That'd be a great mega. Like all different 7s. That'd be great.
All 7.
So it looks like Chad is pretty unified, and they don't want it to replace the recurring because they want to have their mostly fused crew, but maybe as reward golds, and that would work. And the theme would write itself at that point. You don't have to worry about the crew clashing.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it'd be great fun.
Before we get into the individual crew featured, I do want to say that I think they did a much better job ordering the events this time. We have 2 of the events with a galaxy component, so you're going to get half of these 4/4s fully fused. The other half you can either go into packs or recaps or use one of the citations. By the way, they did extend the campaign, so you're going to get, if you manage to finish all the reward thresholds, you'll get 2 purple citations. So you could finish presumably all the crew this month that way. They have a little bit of skirmish at the beginning and the end, so you can level the mirror crew you'll need, and then maybe level the ones you get during the month. And a nice juicy chunk of faction in the middle with a faction and a half. So by the time week 3 rolls around, the meat of the mega. By the time week 3 rolls around, you'll have some crew that you've won during the month to use. So I think they did. This would probably be close to my ideal in terms of ordering the event types.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. I think it's a little bit galaxy heavy. Like, honestly, at this point in the game, I feel like we do need a 4th event type. Like, I know we had Expedition, but no one likes that, and
no one likes that.
And people who like it, who don't like it, are weird.
People who like it,
I think. Is it Pilot who loves them? Is it Pilot?
Expeditions?
Yeah, I feel like someone we know.
I know Barkley does.
So all the weirdos then. Okay, got it. I love you, Barkley. You're a lovely man. But I feel like we genuinely do need a 4th event type. I'm not quite. We've spitballed versions of it in the past, but seeing Galaxy Skirmish, Galaxy Faction Skirmish, like I would love something a bit unexpected. And I know that like it's a case of you should just do something new, and it's like, thank you for that feedback. But at this point, I do kind of feel like I would like a new event type.
How many different variants of the same kind of 4 and the hybrids included as well? I can see why they brought Galaxy Skirmishers back, just to kind of add a little variety. Next week there was a spell we hadn't seen them for a while, but yeah.
Well, it's to drain the lifeblood and get all that chronoton juice out of you.
I mean,
Can't have you banking too much of it.
They could rework Expeditions in some way.
Stop. Just no.
They could certainly rework the way that works. And the most popular ones, obviously, because we already have those systems in place, would be either a gauntlet type event or a voyage type event.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they managed to work those, but well, we'll see. I agree. It would be nice to have a little more variety, but at least for this month, this mega, I think they did a good job balancing.
Yeah, no, the structuring, like you say, is a lot better this time than it was in the Enterprise or the Spocktober mega, where it was a bit. Well, we got one or one and a half faction.
The first half of the first event was a faction.
Yeah, half a faction. So this week's crew, Courier Burnham is your recurring legendary, which you'll be able to get 4 of the 5 stars out for, and hopefully get that 5th star in the recaps should you pull on her. She is Sec Command Psi. We've had a few faces like that in the game, sort of equivalent to what she is, but she does sport a number 42 voyage rank. She is Sec Primary, and she has those lovely. She doesn't have the no, she doesn't have a hat. No hat, no cap, but she does have those amazing braids, which I was always kind of saying when Disco 3 starts, I want that Burnham with the braids, and yay, she's a mega legendary, so I'm happy about that.
Idle, I know this may be somewhat of a touchy subject with you, but like, don't you think that hair is basically just a different kind of hat?
You're not wrong. It's an organic hat for your head. It's not a touchy subject. I'm at one with myself. I'm not jealous at all, you fucker.
No, I'm just picturing Idle walking into Garrick's tailoring shop and asking for an organic hat.
Ethically sourced.
I would like one of your finest, aggressively average hats, please. Thank you.
Oh, no. Still sad that Dr. Van Gogh didn't have a toupee as one of his gold items. Still sad about that.
Yeah, when we get that animated crew art, it should like flap in the breeze, you know. I know you two love Discovery, so before you start waxing lyrically about the art and the character and everything, you can comp her very easily to Mirror Jean-Luc Picard. Partly because they're 3 years apart, the Mirror Mega recurring crew. They're almost identical on voyages, almost identical command sec combined on voyages. It's just they swap the primary and the secondary. So if you have him and he's done good work for you since you got him, she's pretty much the same, just with bigger bases instead of gauntlet. I think someone AVI Trek on the forums made the note that she's going to knock it out of the park for newer players. She does have, strong enough voyage numbers, but the veteran players may find that they use her more for events, that she's not a huge, bump over who you have already, because command sec is very, very common. So she's a good crew, probably worth the sight for most players, but sort of a rehash, especially in command sec, of what you'll be able to find in a lot of other places.
Yeah, it's not quite the command dip sec that we've been like lamenting every time it turns up. And
she ain't Suspiria.
She ain't Suspiria, and it's at least a justified skill set. This is like, Burnham does a lot of shooting and does a lot of fighting, a lot of commanding, a lot of science, so it's justified. But yeah, we like our odd mega legendaries with odd little skill sets that we can be like, look, they're special, they're amazing. We go, yeah, no, she's very good, very good.
She's all right. She's not aggressively average, but she's there. She's above aggressively average.
Yeah.
She's an exemplar of averageness.
She is. I'm happy to have it. I mean, as like you said, me and Stars are a Discovery fan, so I'm quite happy to have this card on my roster, and it's someone I'll keep around, definitely. But something interesting we've been sort of discussing with some no-name namer who's been sort of doing some stuff on the book. He's been working out voyage projections on how much they'll drop over the next year. Auto, did he have anything for Courier? Did he manage to work anything up? I don't know if you've
actually. Let me pull that up now. I think that's something that he needs to.
I don't know how far we got on that, or how far he got on.
Run the numbers on and then put into the spreadsheet that it's not dynamically. No, the last one he has, and there's Booker and Grudge. So maybe next week we can throw that in there. But yeah, if you're interested, Booker and Grudge in 1 year is projected to be voyage number 235, so not ideal.
But yeah, no, it's just something we're working on. Just sort of thinking, how much do people drop and how much will they go? And, you know, if you're looking to invest in a card, is it worth sort of grabbing this one? And if I think we'll try and workshop some stuff up to say we think they will drop this much, but we'll see. Okay, so
We'll put their faces through one of those, aging texts where they add the wrinkles and everything, and like, this is what you're going to look like when you're 80 years old.
Just a plastic
I'm
mask.
sad that whenever that fad was going around of making everyone like smile in that weird face up, I'm sad that we never got like the Borg Queen doing it or like a Borg drone going.
It's not too late. This week's legendary 1,500 rank reward is Sahil. So from the first episode of Discovery, he turned up. It was the first episode of Discovery. He turned up right at the end as the Federation's communications envoy. He was sort of waiting to hail the glorious return of the Federation. Sahil is a command dip, another sort of common skill set. Psi, another Psi tertiary. Voyage rank significantly lower. He is now voyage rank 181. However, sporting number 7 command base. He got them big bases that don't lie, but he is unfortunately lacking in other areas. But for looking at it, he does seem to be a bit of a one-note wonder because he's not main cast. He's sort of a bit guest.
Well, it's this odd thing where they decided to give a top 7 command base to someone who spent most of his time alone, and the moment he saw someone else, he was like, "Please make me an officer, please, please, please." It wasn't very commanding.
Check out my flag.
Or diplomatic. Kind of, yeah, no, please do the flag.
Look at my holographic bird.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd choice of skill set. Like, I mean, it seems to be their go-to for nowadays for giving to new legendaries, but that voyage rate kind of tanks a lot of unless you really, really love that episode and that moment. And even though I like this guy, I think the episode 1 was probably the weakest of the bunch. So
who is he commanding?
Himself?
This is my point.
Yeah.
He's commanding his programmable matter bed.
Yes. He commands his toothbrush to brush his teeth.
To be fair, that was pretty cool special effects. Like whatever else knocks I have on Discovery, they do well. They do good CGI. So
very good.
Yeah, and he's. I will also say that of all the 3 we've got so far, Booker has probably the best traits of the lot. Like he's got like empath and a few other bits and pieces. Like Burnham has pretty much the exact same trait set as every other Burnham. It's like Courier plus.
But you are forgetting that Courier, the very elusive Courier trait, before this Mega, we only had 2 crew with Courier. And that was Bounty Hunter Mud, or Boobs Mud, and Morn. So maybe this heralds the Morn Mega in a few months.
Oh, there was a Lurian in the first episode as well. So this all comes about.
Morn Mega.
Morn Mega.
Not your best theory crafting, guys. But yeah, it's like we got what else is like Sahil? He's got like communicator and ambassador. An ambassador feels like their way of saying this card would normally be a diplomat, but we don't want to give you the collection spot.
I mean, communicator does have its voyage traits. It comes up, but I'm sure you've got a lot better command depth communicators out there. I'm sure you've got.
A great point from Robert Kaiser in the chat. Sahil is someone who never travels, so he can't have a high voyage rank. That makes a lot of sense.
Love it.
I am no longer upset about his voyage rank. That makes perfect sense. That fits the character. I'm now completely happy with that aspect of it. Thank you.
But what about Booker, who's constantly going around and doing things? Smoke bomb! I need to disappear.
But he's not a Voyager, he's a Courier. Anyway, let's move on.
Courier Mega, dude.
Okay, so are you saying that all Voyager crew should have the highest voyage stats?
I mean, I'm not the person to ask.
Skycap
should be the one you ask about that.
Actually,
that's a question for Ben, isn't it? It's like, is it a coincidence that the number 1 Voyager is a Voyager crew?
So Threshold episode Lizard Paris has got to be like number 1, right? Because he went warp 10. He was everywhere at once, right?
He went everywhere. Yep. Yeah. And if you haven't,
I have a question. I have a question, right? So if he was everywhere at once, does that mean he was inside everyone at once as well?
You wish.
Because there's I don't wish, actually. Like, I like Robert Duncan McNeil, but he's not my type. You know what my type is.
You must think me a fool to make your lies so transparent.
Perfect.
So what you're saying is we got to get warped to Wharf. We got to get warped to Wharf 10 is what you want, right?
Okay, let's move this on this week's
No, hold on. Before we move it on.
Enough of that shit. Enough of that boring show. We got stuff to talk about. Let's talk about Threshold.
Look, Morn doesn't get enough airtime. So if they made a legendary Morn where he's spitting up the latinum, he's like holding the glass and regurgitating the latinum, that would be a great crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be happy with that. I also want
second man something. I don't know.
Doesn't Quark break a painting over his head, or is that someone else in the Who Mourns for Morn episode?
Oh, I can't remember.
Who is?
Because like Morn leaves him like a painting, and I think he breaks it over someone's head.
Idle. We have the
we do. And
drop.
if we're speaking about Sahil, I mean, the only thing I've got to say is
There's nothing here but worthless gold.
yes.
Look, it all dovetails together perfectly.
Oh, it's perfect.
Like it was meant to be.
Anyway.
I think we're all sleep deprived today. That's what I think.
Linus is joining us, the Saurian from Discovery. I believe he started in season 2, but he's now quite a comedic feature in season 3. Super Rare Crew, another side dip command. Would they sort of be doing various sort of side command this sort of event? He sits at Super Rare rank Voyage 106. He's decent to the punch, but you will be getting 4 or 4 of him this event because he is Omega. So don't forget, if you're skipping the Galaxy part, don't forget to do at least one build so you can still claim the rewards.
Sorry, what voyage rank on?
He is 106 for the Super Rares, but he's 541 overall, 106 for the Super Rares, I believe.
Okay.
Unless I've got something wrong. Yes, does that check out? Are we?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
He does resemble a Muppet. What do we think? Oh, we've lost it now, haven't we? This is it.
Yeah, no, this has gone off the rails. This is
All right,
a terrible show.
Namer is in chat to save the day. He ran the numbers on Courier Burnham, and in 1 year, she's looking to be voyage rank 74. So about a 30 rank drop on a year. That's not a bad investment.
Not bad, yeah.
I believe that's what EV stock was when he debuted.
Yeah, I about started there. So
yeah. So Linus is one of those like cards that I'm never going to use, especially because again he has bad traits. But I want him because Linus is adorable.
Yes.
Linus is one of my favorite parts of Discovery. I love him.
That's the clip I should have had. I should have had him just teleporting. Oh, sorry, new badge.
Just like play all the way through like the episodes, just him like, whoop, sorry,
new badge. Have you seen that image that's going about of him turning up in different sci-fi franchises? There's him standing in front of a Stargate. He's there on the ship of Farscape, and he's just going, oh, sorry, wrong room, new badge.
I did see one guy on Reddit was just posting him in various different subreddits, like in the Battlestar Galactica Reddit. He was like, "Oh, sorry, wrong franchise," and they were like, "Hey, I know you." And I thought that was pretty good. That's pretty fun.
If he's pure comic relief, that's fantastic. I do love Linus. He's brilliant. I think the fact that
he doesn't have the popcorn.
Have you listened to it's the Instagram, and I can't remember the exact name. It's something like Star Trek Logs, and it's the actual actors, and this is it's Linus's actor does his own Starfleet log, and it's about him trying to hit on Georgiou, the whole thing.
Oh, is he actually trying to hit on her?
Yeah, he's into that. It's like maybe she'll pay attention to me. It's really worth it. It's worth going to listen to, but there is definitely, hopefully, some chemistry there.
While we're waist deep in Discovery Crew, I should point out that after every Discovery Mega, I saw a handful of people vehement, that absolutely convinced that we were not going to have another Discovery Mega. And then we had another one. They're like, oh, there's no way they've never done a third one. And, oh, no, they can't do another one. No, we just did. We have too many crew. And then they did one with 80 bonus crew. So, just because this one's featuring crew and doesn't give the bonus doesn't mean we won't ever get another one.
Disco's dead.
Just saying.
Disco's dead.
I don't hear any conviction in your voice.
I really don't.
About Suspiria, and I know what you sound like when you believe what you're saying.
Look. If it does happen, then I can point to this and be right.
Make your lies so transparent.
Just saying.
Well, it's just this odd thing where we have 3 shows going at the same time. One of them has had 4 megas, and we're on like an ostensible 5th that doesn't have an actual tag for it. Picard has had kind of 1 if you add up all the crew that are actually from the show. And then Lower Decks got nothing so far.
Chat, who is your most wanted mega? And like viable, not like brat. Okay, yeah, there's one brat in the game. Who's your most wanted viable mega? Because I think for me, it's probably still Ferengi. Because I feel like we have a lot of Ferengi not added. The bonus pool is pretty small, so each one would actually matter. You'd be able to use your 4 stars. I think Ferengi mega would be my favorite. What about you guys?
Yeah, Ferengi would be cool. I'd like to see another Borg one. I mean, we've had a lot of new Borg crews since.
That'd be cool.
If they're repeating with, like, they repeated Vulcan, I would like to see another Borg mega at some point. With a good,
we've had Vulcan, and now we're on our second Mirror mega, so it's absolutely viable now. I want Hero.
Yes.
Hero is the coolest trait. I think that's the
Hero.
fun one. Like Tuxedo Nog and Captain Pike, like Hero mega. Just
No.
Hero and villain.
No. Hero also includes 1001, who I have just immortalized. So yes, give me some use for this waste of time.
I take it back. Never run that mega. No, Hero I would genuinely love. I think you could do a really fun thing with a Hero mega.
Long time caller, long time listener, Skycap says Equinox, and that is great. Captain Ransom and the crew from that, with probably an updated version of the note, and maybe a 5-star U.S.S. Equinox would be quite cool.
You know,
Eagle Dock as well would be good.
We were trying to brainstorm, because Hero Mega we talk about a lot. What about a Villain Mega? And then we said, okay, if we had a Hero and Villain Mega, are there any crew who possibly could have both traits? And Captain Ransom from the Equinox was the first one that came to mind, because he does sort of have that redemption arc.
He's the anti-hero, isn't he?
That'd be cool.
So there are a couple of Ferengis in the chat. There's one for artificial life forms. And we thought, because when Picard debuted, they had the whole synth storyline. We thought, are we going to get android events? Or are we going to get a synthetic trait? So that may still happen.
I'd actually quite enjoy it, because like you could bring it all the way, because we're still missing Andrea from the TOS. We're still missing. We could get another version of Lore when he's like pointing the phaser at Wesley, like, "Do you know the kind of death you've earned, little man?" Like, I'd love that Lore.
If that was the voice line, yeah.
No, I would want that. I don't put the audio on and through anything, but I'd put it on for that.
I'd put him on all the space battles just to.
Yeah, we could get like Cyborg Bareil from that episode when he was dying.
Oh, yeah.
We could get I'm sure there's some more like robots and Voyager that'd be good fun. We could get an Exo Comp. We could get Peanut Hamper.
Peanut Hamper, yeah.
Yeah. I think artificial life forms, that's strong actually. I hadn't considered that. That's a good one.
Stellar Ice says, could we get a Trill Mega? I think you've had enough Dax variants. Come on.
I was just gonna say we have 4 non-Dax, no, 3 non-Dax trills. Yeah, it's Riker, Odan, Lenora Khan, and Arjun. Everyone else is Dax.
I would suspect, given Disco Season 3, we might be seeing some more, thankfully, which is quite cool. We still need Varad Dax as well. The guy who stole Dax and was like, shove it in my belly, and then then Dax was like, no, I hate this guy, he's rude. Guess what? If you try and like condense down any Star Trek plot, it sounds stupid.
I'm having Frederick Law flashbacks right now. Shove it in my belly.
Shove that worm in my belly.
So the next featured crew is whom exactly?
Well, okay, so you wanted to talk about disco variants. We have Lieutenant Booker, our 3-star. I think this is actually the second 3-star we've spoken about on this crew, formerly Jury Rigger Tucker. I keep calling him Jury Rigger Tucker. It's not. He's Restless Trip Tucker. Lieutenant Booker is here. Another dip crew, Sec Eng. I know I pronounced that really strangely. He's decent enough for rare crew, 17. We don't often talk about the cadets on here because it's such a strange... anyone watching this show has probably got to a certain point where they're like, rare crew, whatever. But it is still interesting to have these unique, if strange... Even if I do have my aversion to anyone looking straight at the screen on the camera, it's nice to have this variant of crew. Yeah, exactly. I kind of hate it. I don't know why. It just bugs me.
not...
Look off to the
There are
camera.
certain ones that do bug me, like Transporter Chief Rand is one.
Yeah.
Formal Dress Beverly is a little bit off. Like a little bit of motion goes a long way to helping art stand out. And considering how much I actually enjoyed the scene where he has to put on the Starfleet uniform and the little banter he and Burnham have, like I was kind of sad that the art on this one's a little bit meh. But it's cool to have him in here. I was kind of hoping he'd be a 5-star, but yeah, whatever.
I kind of like this because he looks slightly uncomfortable in it.
Yeah, he definitely portrays that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
For now, I was going to say a little explanation of why he's wearing the uniform. We won't get to that because that's kind of spoiler territory, and it's a nice moment. So,
next time we open 400 packs over the course of 8 hours, I'm sure there'll be Discovery talk.
There definitely will have a big old rant about it. On the side note, I would actually love to have Admiral Georgiou from this episode, and that's a little teaser for you for anyone who's not watched it. But that was quite a cool moment as well. Just the sheer fucking hubris of her kind of going, "You're an admiral." It's like, why not? I've got to give myself a sense of.
Okay, so now this is a bit of a tangent, and it's going to be kind of lost on
Fine,
people.
That's this episode's a tangent. It's all right.
So Idol,
go on.
You watched The Expanse, correct?
Oh yes. And
you're familiar with the Belters, right?
Belter Loda, yes.
Belter
Mi
Loda.
Baratna.
Now,
Walla.
I want you to think about the guy in episode 3, whose name is Wen, right? Like the raider guy, the really tall guy.
Yes.
When I saw him, I thought that he was a Belter.
Yeah, he's kind of got the Belter stuff. Yeah,
to do the South African thing. I was like totally expecting that. Now, like I said, that'll be lost on anyone who hasn't watched The Expanse.
Watch The Expanse. First season a little bit rough, but second, third, fantastic. Fourth season, excellent. Really hyped for this 5th season. I am so pissed as someone that's reading the books that they're finishing at the 6th season because there's more books to read. Anyway, sorry. Tangent.
I feel like any time I try to get someone into a show, I'm like, yeah, the first season sucks, but then it really gets better. And they're like,
but that's Star Trek.
I got to sit through the first season, really?
No, but that's the Next Generation. That's Deep Space Nine. That's
yeah, it's every Star Trek, actually. It's every Star Trek. Apart from TOS, but TOS gets a pass because it was the original.
All of it's terrible.
I knew someone was going to go there.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Fired.
Just all I'm thinking in Auto's head is,
I find this whole procedure offensive.
And I find you offensive.
There you go. So Lieutenant Booker.
You know what you need to get? You need to get a clip from Living Witness where what is it? Is it Captain Jenkins like phases someone on? No, it's from Author. Where fake Janeway phases a crewman so that like Lieutenant Marseille gets treatment ahead of someone else. Just to like, and that's the conversation being ended.
Can we stop mentioning Lieutenant Marseille on the stream? He might get made into a card, and I'm really hoping you won't. Please stop.
It'll be like immortalized in your name. It'll be like, this card is purely thanks to Captain Idol. And it'll be forever associated with you. That douchey mustache will be your fault, Idol. Your fault.
Anyway, Lieutenant Booker is a rare crew who is featured this week. Moving on, the super rare crew who you can pick up in Threshold rewards, Reinforcements, Stamets, Tier 8's finest disco crew. 2 skiller size set. Guys, how has he aged over time?
So I believe he was like a daily reward like a long while ago, like 2 years ago. So, and he's been in like 3 events. He's a very common card. Yeah. He's got pretty garbage traits unless you think the exomycologist or has a shot. Prodigy's okay, but he's kind of like a very generic Disco 2 skiller from back when like those had value, I'd say.
He's a Discovery shuttle filler, and to be fair, he's had a lot of chances to do that. So, oh God, I don't think we can be canceled. Have you guys seen that image where they show the Asian woman's aging process, where she's like 20 years old, she's 30 years old, she's 40 years old, she looks perfectly coiffured and elegant, and then she hits 60, she loses like 2 feet, and she gets all these wrinkles. That is Reinforcement Stamets, because hear me out. He's gotten event after event after event after event, And when disco events stop, what's he gonna do for you? You're gonna pull him out maybe once a year for a faction event. So this is his once a year.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a
I
bit more of a
probably
tangent,
shouldn't have made that
it does.
comparison, but
This branches off from what you were saying. So this is like a slightly odd cultural idiom that I think does have some relevance here. So in Japan, do you know at what age women are considered old? Do you want to take a guess?
I can tell you what age my wife considers old.
I am going to be the politically correct one here and abstain.
Well, you guys have wives, so you're gonna have to. So in Japan, the idiom is that women are like Christmas cake because you throw them out after the 25th.
Oh,
and I heard that,
Christ.
and I was like, "That's the most brutal thing I've ever heard in my entire life." And now I feel like it has to work its way into like a disco crew note because you throw them out after the 25th event.
The statements reflected on this podcast are not representative of the Captain Idol brand.
We're hemorrhaging viewers. Let's get back on track.
I am currently looking for more politically correct
Actually,
hosts.
we've been gaining them steadily. Keep going.
Well, look,
Why is it we get bad crew? You guys go on
tangents. So we have to make sure to balance out.
As if Book wasn't
guess
bad
what?
enough.
In the words of Drunk Troy, it's a different culture.
It is.
I was just trying to blend in.
Yeah, you're blended all right. That was a good Drunk Troy, by the way.
That was a very good Drunk
I
Troy.
had that scene burned into my brain.
You have all of Star Trek burned into your brain.
Young.
Hold on.
Recall is amazing.
Can we get a little bit of Mudbath Idol and tell me about the mud that got in your hair?
The what?
Oh, Mudbath Wolf, where it's like, how's my hair?
Oh,
right.
I want that on your stream deck.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If anyone wants,
we don't have any clips of you. We have ones of Auto, but where's you in there?
I know. Well, I've got this one on DC Pilot.
If he gets views.
I've got DC and I've got Auto, but we need to get more. I haven't. We'll get some more.
We'll get there.
I like you need more excuses to use your new toy.
I do. I need to get more pages on. I've run out. Look, literally, I have a whole page. So I can't get the lead. Hang on, can't get the lead long enough. That's just gags.
Someone points out brain. What is brain? That'd be pretty good considering how often if we go off on a tangent. That'd be your way of reining us in.
No, if I want to rein you in, I'll just play this one. Yes. Okay, let's move on from Reinforcement Stamets. You've said all you can about him. This week's Tuesday pack. There is a plethora of crew you can pick from, but this week's featured is General O. Zatvash, traitorous Admiral, nay General, coming in with Command Sec Dip. Voyage rank kind of equivalent to what we've seen with the Mega Crew, just in this sort of upper 100s, in the upper 100s. She is one of those elusive Picard crew that won't get a Picard Mega, but compares a little bit to Commodore O, who you can also get in the pack as well, along with Human Taurers and a few Super Rare crew you might need to finish. Okay, and moving on to...
I don't have a lot to say, a lot of nice things to say about a six-pack Command Dip set crew, because generally speaking, you either have to be outstanding to even register on my radar, and I wouldn't say that O is outstanding.
She's not the Scarecrow, huh?
Well.
Sorry. I gotta do a dad joke for Big. The Scarecrow outstanding in his field?
Yeah. Well, she is standing in the picture.
She's doing the Janeway with the hands on the hips.
She is.
Someone said last week was the best episode of Timelines Talks yet, and I agree with it.
Yeah, it's the one you weren't on. Anyway. Love you. Love you, honey. So... I've hurt his feelings now.
Shut up, Otto, you moron.
Wow, makes you feel better. Thanks, asshole.
What is it that the Doc injects Paris with when he gets shot in worst case scenario? Like a bit of hydrochloric acid, proverbial salt in the wound? That's what that was.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, the reason you're getting this card is because she's good in Arena. She is essentially Captain Killy. She just activates slightly slower. So That being said, Killy is an LTO alongside her, so I would take Killy over her anytime, 10 times out of 10, and you don't have the risk of wading into a six pack. But if you like the character and you want to be able to use her, that is pretty consistent usage, especially since I think most people want more than one instant damage crew on their ship lineup. So
She's got the big guns, and that's good because she doesn't have anything else. Like I'd say like you were pulling for her a bit more than anyone else because I think everyone else was like, oh, okay, I mentally checked out on seeing this card and goodbye. Like at least Commodore O has like a slightly better skill set and the meme artwork, whereas General O is just very cookie cutter. Like I would just say she does have her uses, but this is the kind of crew that you're going to see in a behold in about I don't know, about a year and a half. That's usually when they do port updates, maybe 2 years, depending on how long they're going. And someone's going to be like, "Oh right, yeah, she got instant damage. Okay, I guess I'll take her."
it all depends on what you need. If you don't, I mean, if your arena crew is set, then yeah, she's totally superfluous. But if she's the first damage crew you get, I could see even siding her, and that plus 10 attack is very useful. I mean, as my roster grows, I have a lot of statistically superior crew on this account, but Fury Kess is still my most useful card because she spearheads my arena lineup and my skirmish lineup. So that's very valuable if those are the kind of events that you like pushing in.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a letdown because we've had some really fun crew. Like we had Breen Kira, who was number 2 Voyager, I believe, and Prisoner Kim, who had like a banger of a skill set, and then we get General O, and it's like,
oh,
okay. I see.
Other cards in the pack also include, let's say you're not interested in O. What about a chance to have Commodore O? What about a chance to have Human Taurus? And there's also Voke, Ash Tyler, and is that Morale? I can always get these two confused. Is it Morale Taurus? The one with the...
I believe so.
Klingon Taurus.
Oh, that is Klingon Taurus. Morale's the mother. Yeah. I always get those two confused. Anyway,
who is also the daughter from Endgame.
Yeah,
it's so racist. Like, you think they all look alike? What's your problem, dude?
I'm just being culturally inappropriate. Anyway, we do have Commodore O and Human Taurus.
The comments on the stream do not represent the Stars and Garters brand.
Yes. We're going to have to get a new host next week. This is unacceptable.
Oh, please do. Guys, Commodore O...
You can donate your stream deck to them.
Yes. No, I'm taking that to my grave. Commodore O or Human Taurus worth delving into the pack for?
Nope.
Cool. Okay, moving on. This week we also have 2 LTOs. We have Mirror Stamets and Captain Killy. You oft mentioned Captain Killy. Tell me about Mirror Stamets. Tell our audience about his fall from grace over time whilst I divert myself to the nearest lavatory.
He looks so happy to be rid of us.
Yeah, no, we need new hosts. Like, I'm sure we can get like DC Pilot in. Like, he's got that voice for radio. We can do it.
You think they get used? Did they get fused? Sorry, I can't hit the button, but I'll do the line.
The problem with DC Pilot is he's such a man's man that like anyone else trying to imitate him always comes off as like, you know.
I know we're like the Wicked Witch of the West with that big bump on our nose, trying to do a Dorothy impression, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Mirror Stamets. So he debuted with good, not excellent power, but he was, I believe, the 3rd Engmed Psyker. Now we've had quite a few of them this year. We've talked about it at length. I think this is like the 5th or 6th, no 7th. Engmed Psy crew between purples and golds. So that particular set is not all right. Look, DC Pilot, we're talking you up. You don't need to beat your own chest and chat too. We love you. Everyone else loves you. So Stamets though, but the power isn't there anymore, and he's not catching a ton of events. So the bottom falling out of Disco hurts the usability of so many crew. You know, you think of Fungal May and Ripper and Compromised Arium. There's a scad of 2 skillers who exist solely to fill your Discovery shuttles. So if that's gone, they're gone. Now, Stamets obviously isn't there yet. You could still use them on voyages, but you know, you really want a good mix of power and skill set to be able to use crew. And he's got the skill set still, even though it's been fleshed out, but the power isn't quite there anymore. So To finish him with an LTO, I mean, I can sign off on that. There are really only three mirror crew right now that I would consider citing: Mir Jean-Luc Picard, and these two, Captain Killy and Mir Stamets. So, if by some miracle he's the last one you need to finish the mirror collection, I can see that. But as a standalone or first, second, third star, I would wait for him to drift in via the portal and beholds.
Yeah, is that way your way of saying I look forward to seeing the LTOs next week because they can only go downward from here?
Well, I do wonder if it's going to be, if we're going to. So right now the discount packs, the 390 is, because I didn't want to talk about them. There's only one mirror crew not in the portal, and that's Mir Chekhov. So getting him in a 3-pack for the lowest deal price, that's very tempting. Even though I like to save my resources for strong gold cards. I do wonder if are we going to see more mirror discount packs, or are we going to see discovery discount packs, since that's like the split theme.
Okay,
it's going to be interesting to see.
Definitely keep an eye on those. Also, oh, wrong button. Let's do that. Also, this week we have Captain Killy is the LTO. Not her first appearance, but if you were looking for your first 400% 6-second boom, which is kind of the linchpin for all arena and skirmish damage, if you don't have Fury, if you missed on Garth's event, or you just need someone to supplement one of your existing ones, that is her. But she used to be a bit of a Voyage star. She has fallen from grace somewhat.
Yeah, no, if you're looking at this particular skill set, you're looking at like Ralph Kirk, who I think he was available during the TOS Mega from in discounted packs, and that's like enduring Voyage power and enduring event use spot, because his faction rate is like second to none, whereas I'm pretty sure Tilly's managed maybe 2, like independent of Discovery. So you're essentially grabbing her for Mirror Collection, the Boomstick, and the hope that there will be plenty more Tilly variants to come. Now, that looks like it'll be validated because we have our first Stamets actual variant event in a long while. Granted, it's a skirmish, so chances are good in that. But I think she's like Voyage 200 or something like that now, and it's
219.
She's still, it's still a command set even with that tertiary end. So don't let yourself be fooled into thinking she's anything particularly special on Voyages.
Idle, you tell us about her.
She's just amazing. She's just. I have no words to describe the love for Captain Killy that I have. She was, in my early, it's an emotional story that goes back throughout time. When I was a young player, I was suffering from an obscene lack of any decent skirmish crew, and I happened upon a behold one day, and there she was in her reigning glory, and turned up, and yeah. Also, I love the art and the card and the character.
Every time her name comes up in chat, he goes nuts about her. So I figured he'd have some kind of romantic story attached.
I mean, my heartstrings have been tugged. I'm emotionally compromised.
Oh, you sound it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say for anyone that doesn't have the Boom crew, she's the best of the best. There is no equal apart from probably Fury Kess, who has the advantage of Gauntlet and actual Voyage power, and a better skill set. Okay, shall we?
So you're saying you have no love for Bridal Keiko?
Not the same amount of love that O'Brien would give. Certainly not. Miles. Okay, shall we have fun?
Caddy,
I think I'm back off the show next week.
I think I am.
No, me first.
Please, guys. Don't go. I need you. Okay, shall we have the fun? Shall we have some fun? Shall we actually have the fun part of the episode?
I thought we were having fun.
Oh, you were.
I
okay.
thought there would be fun.
I think it's time for Showdown.
This Wednesday on UPN, an all-out war. Competitors from all over the cosmos go head-to-head in a battle for supremacy. Captain Kirk versus Spock. Captain Kirk versus the Gorn. Captain Kirk versus basic human decency. Find out who will fall and who will be victorious on Timeline Showdown.
Yes, it is time for Timeline Showdown. The battle of the ages, the conquest to work out who is the best of the best. And this week we are going to decide who... Oh, hang on. What's going on here? Here you go. Who... Why is that not working?
Will be the next host.
Who will be the next host of Timelines Talks? No, why is my thing not loading? Hang on.
That'd be a good one to vote for.
Yeah. Who would you like? Okay, who do you think should replace Deanna Troi as ship's counselor? And we have a fantastic lineup. We will doing 4 of these today. Today we'll be deciding humanoid figure or Morn, torpedo surgeon McCoy or solar sail Cisco, fungal entity May, Vedic or Vedic Win Adami, Paraith Cult Ducat, Warship EMA. Let me start. Guys, please vamp while I get these links over to chat. Shall we start with humanoid figure and Morn?
You know, we were looking at this pre-show, and I'm looking through the crew, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell criteria did we use to pick these crew? Because like there are like 2 of them that make sense to me, and I'm like, what did we pull the rest of it?
I'm pretty sure that it's what's known as for the lulz.
For the lulz. Yeah, straw poll. Chat. I've just put the straw poll in there. Please open up and vote, and we will have a count up in a few minutes. But so, better counselor, Morn or humanoid figure? I've got to go Morn. His advice is just sage, and he's always steered me right in the show. Whenever he's had one of those epic monologues, they've always gone on, and they've always sort of just hit me right where I need to at the time. Like, if I ever want to relax, I'll just put one of the Morn episodes on and just listen to him, and it'll just put me right in the end.
Honestly, like, I feel you. Like, you know how they have those, like, montages of Captain Picard's inspirational speeches? I always just say, fuck that, where are the Morn ones? The Morn ones always get me right in the heart.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I got to play devil's advocate. So, humanoid figure is always there when you need him, right? You walk in the room, he's a good listener. And he's good at turning your words back on your. When you talk to him, his advice echoes in your ears. You know, he's a very. I got nothing.
Could you say?
I'm shocked you didn't go for the low hanging fruit of he's very good at advising about your future.
Oh, that's true.
Or he's he's so good. He's merely a reflection of yourself. Because he was art. Well, he was supposed to be art. Yeah. Okay, this is looking very clearly Morn with 16 votes to 0. So I think we're gonna have to call this. This is an early call. Let's say this one is Morn. Please mark that one on the poll.
On the thing. No,
on
you
the
want
thing.
to say the thing.
I'm always doing the thing. That's a Norfolk expression.
The
it's
thing,
the thingy.
the thing.
The thing. Touch the thing.
What? Oh, I haven't started the tournament.
Oh, we'll start.
Hold on, I gotta.
Off to a rollicking.
We're good. We're good.
Okay.
Professionalism.
So, Morn wins this one.
Professionalism.
I need that as one as well. Okay.
This time it's not my fault. I put it in there, and the website is completely frozen.
Fine. We'll leave. We'll come back.
We broke straw poll.
Hey, right. So next up, I will put the straw poll in. No, there it is. Next up is who should replace Deanna Troi? Torpedo surgeon McCoy or solar sails Cisco? This is more interesting. I think I've got to say torpedo surgeon McCoy. I don't recall a lot of explorers, but I would definitely let McCoy guide a homing missile into my torpedo bay.
Whoa, what?
I'm sorry, do you want to say that again?
No, I really don't, because that's the only analogy.
No, I just want to have like a picture of like Idol, and then like it says, "What thing's gonna have a tailpipe?"
Okay, so we picked this crew obviously because of that line, which is very applicable right now. I'd pay real money if these two would shut up. So I don't know if that makes him a great listener or not. But
right. Quickly move said ever and talk to me about solar sail Cisco.
Okay, I'm actually going to be a bit heartfelt for a moment here, and I think that Cisco may not just be the best Star Trek dad, but one of the best dads in all of fiction. Because if you think about fathers figures like that, I mean, even the good ones, they usually have some like crippling flaw or some kind of lesson they have to relearn over and over again. Think like a Homer Simpson figure where they have a good heart but they keep on messing up. It's like I can think of maybe 2 instances where Benjamin Sisko messed up with it in regards to his son, and he immediately fixed them, and he was just a really, really good dad.
On a reflection of that, watching What We Leave Behind, the Deep Space Nine documentary, and hearing Kira Lofton talking about the relationship he had with Avery Brooks, like, he was a father to him. And, like, he took him in, Kira Lofton wasn't too close with his family and things like that. And, I think Avery Brooks, with his style of approaching Sisko, he's everyone's dad, really. At the end of the day, he took him in, and it's just, that relationship you see on screen is genuine, and I think that's something we all love.
Yeah, and like, I think it always comes up as what will make you cry more, the Inner Light or the Visitor. And I think that most people, they start off with the Visitor, but especially if you become a father or you get a family, it's like it ends up becoming the Visitor will make you bawl.
I was reading a thread this week about emotional scenes in Star Trek, and they pointed out the Visitor exactly because they said, okay, it's an emotional episode, but the payoff works because you see years of the father-son interaction. You see how close they are, and so when the emotion hits you, it's because they've earned it with the way he treats his son, the way he tries to father his son. And I actually watched it recently, and yeah, I cried. It's a great episode. And if you have a relationship with your father like Jake and Sisko do, then you can identify with that. So I have to watch the Solar Sails episode. It's been too long, but I mean, the fact that he takes his son, it's just those two. They hop in the camper van, and they go where the winds take them. So you really do have to love someone to voluntarily get stuck with them, with no way out for weeks at a time. So
but the last time you went on holiday with your father, was there Gulder Cut and fireworks involved?
That's the right holiday. What I'll also say about Explorer is, like, if you guys want to go and rewatch it, that episode is like simultaneously peak DS9 and also the least DS9, because the stakes in that episode are absolutely tiny. Like, it's just a case of, will the ship go or won't it? Will Jake come clean about like not wanting to go into Starfleet? And it's like, these are like the smaller scale things in like a show that includes the Dominion War, and yet it's still extremely DS9 because Sisko and Jake is arguably one of the fundamental pillars of that show.
Well, that's what I really miss about these 24 episode seasons is you can be allowed to do shows like that to build the characters in ways that aren't high stakes and still flesh out their development. So I really do miss that about these long seasons.
DS9 was absolutely the exception for that, because there was something about how that crew merged together over time that was kind of unparalleled for the time, and even still, that's why it's so rewatchable today. I mean, obviously you can rewatch all of TNG and Voyager, but DS9 feels the most contemporary because it does explore things like that. But
we could not have stumped harder for him, and he was ahead by one vote left.
No, it's
apparently good money if you shut up is like, that's a great tagline, because
no, it's even down now.
That's the kind of therapy people want to pay for.
We definitely got Solar Sails in the lead here, 10-8. I think I'm going to call that for Solar Sails. Absolutely. So thank you.
Spoiler alert! Even if it hadn't, we would have still we
can fudge the numbers. It's fine.
This was all pre-recorded. We do it on Monday.
We're not really here.
Hit the play button.
Okay, next straw poll going into chat. Who should replace Deanna Troi's ship's counselor? Would you vote for fungal Oh, hang on, I must select an option. Okay, you must vote for either fungal entity May or Vedic Win Adami. I think I'm going to vote for Vedic Win Adami, because when I'm going for counselling, what do I want to do? I want to get out there as fast as possible. Because whoever's if I want someone to give me the worst advice so I would know what to do in an opposite, it would be Winadami. Does that make sense?
She also knows. No. She also knows all of your flaws, all of the worst parts of you, and she will tell you right to your face.
No, it's fine, because I already know all the worst parts of me, so she ain't saying nothing new.
I think that Win is one of the most wonderfully realized characters in all certainly in all of Star Trek, because I cannot stand her.
If you were going to get someone to play the best villain in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, it's absolutely got to be Nurse Ratched. The best villain in one of the best movies. You couldn't have cast that any better.
I have a group of friends that I took on the Star Trek experience and all. Not the actual content, but like basically going through TNG and DS9 and Voyager. And all we have to say to each other is, "Walk with the prophets, my child." And there's just like a visible.
Just you got to do the breathe in the. My child. the condensation just pouring out.
I'm gonna just say it like
The
Fungal Entity
condensation
May.
or condensation?
Why not both? She's very humid.
A Fungal Entity May.
Speaking of
drove Killy to insanity, nearly killed her, broke her down into biological components and sent her to a parallel universe, was loud, obnoxious, and annoying, and I would still rather be counseled by her than win an army.
I think for this, now this is coming back to me. I think for this matchup, we just picked the two of the most annoying characters we could think of in Star Trek. So
I don't know. I liked May. She was there was some somewhat ulterior motives to what she was doing, but I quite liked that storyline, and I quite liked her point, even if they just completely ignored it.
Well, the thing is, she's meant to be annoying, and good God, does she nail it?
I quite liked it. I wouldn't mind if she was more of a regular appearance, the same way that a little bit of spoilers here. Gray is to Adira. Maybe that could have been quite a nice dynamic, but
I could see that.
But we are looking for shifting slightly here. We're looking sort of a clearer win for Vedic Winadami as your preferred counselor out of these this selection. So
About the airlock. Ow, get out.
I think it's got to be Win. I think it's
She got vaporized in the finale, and I still don't feel like that was bad enough.
she's the winner.
She is the winner.
Sorry.
So okay. Coming up next, we've got who should replace Deanna Troi, ship's counselor, Paraith Cult Ducat or Warship EMA, and it is going in chat now. So please vote on that.
I wonder if this subliminally came upstairs because you already brought him up once today with the proverbial salt in the wound. Oh no, that was a different doc, right? That was
the same vibe though. It's Robert Picardo acting like an asshole.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking he dissolved the optic nerve or whatever with the acid hypospray.
Yeah,
so.
I guess the EMH's preferred weapon of choice is acid, which I guess.
Considering that's what the writers were on when they did those episodes.
Hey, Living Witness is awesome. Come on, that is one of the best Voyagers.
Me and the boyfriend are about to hit that on our Voyager watch, and I can't wait.
I love that episode.
Episode is ridiculous, and I love it.
Yeah.
So Paraith Cult to Car. I don't know if you guys have watched that episode recently, but the highlight of it is when, and this is one of those moments where we try to explain the synopsis of a Star Trek episode, and you explain. So then the insane Cardassian like Paraith cultist, he's having sex with these Bajoran women, and one of them gives birth to a half Cardassian baby, and then he tries to shoot her out the airlock, and then it thankfully doesn't happen, and it's like okay, okay.
Yeah, and he's the one who these heathens are voting in as ship's counselor at the moment. So
see, I think I've actually blocked this episode from my memory because when I thought Paraith Cult to Cut was from the end of What You Leave Behind when he turns around in the pits and he's suddenly Cardassian again. I thought that's from a different episode. I think I've actually
from a different episode where he's on Empok Nor and he's got a Bajoran cult who are worshipping him because he's
this
the path
after the Empok Nor episode? I think I've completely scrubbed that one from my brain. Wow, I can't believe.
He abducts Kira and she's like watching this like you're insane, and he's like, I know, I'm nuts. And it's just like okay.
I'm a nut. I'm crazy as a coconut.
So I'm a big fan of the show Frasier. The fellow who plays Captain Morgan Batesman in TNG episode Cause and Effect. So there is a line in there that I always think of when I think of Paraith Cult to Cut. So let me read it to you. It is
okay.
So someone wrote a criticism of Frasier's show, and I think this is to a T Paraith Cult to Cut. It's hard to say what to hate most about Crane's show. His pompous, sanctimonious style, his constant self-congratulatory references to his own life, or his voice, a mock sympathetic tone so sickly sweet, one wonders if the man graduated from medical school or from some mind-controlling cult. That perfectly describes Paraith Cult to Cut, does it not?
It also perfectly describes Bashir. Early seasons
I can see
Bashir.
that.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be your lead into the thing on your stream deck.
Oh, what?
I find this whole procedure offensive.
And I find you offensive.
That one?
There you go.
Or was it this one?
Tell me, what have I done to earn your disrespect?
You know what? Martok would actually be a decent choice as counselor because he just tell you to man up.
Hey, yeah.
Actually, you know what? I say that. He was actually quite sensitive when it came to Garrett's claustrophobia, so, you know, he'd be a decent choice.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, we're looking at...
So these two... Yeah.
If you guys in chat are actually going to vote for Ducat, you have to justify your choice. So can someone in chat give me a good reason why you would want to sit there and bare your soul to this man?
Frontier Madison. Warship EMA, though. I mean, if you're going to compare it to someone that's, okay, a cult leader, but at least looking after his followers, against a guy that with no emotional... bearing in mind he's not real. He was a construct of a civilization's imagination, but that was a bad guy, that Warship EMA. He was not... That's not someone you want to be in a room with.
Idle.
Yes.
He was the baby daddy to a Bajoran and then tried to shoot the mother out the airlock.
Okay, but what's he done lately?
EMA tried to inject acid behind your eyes and dissolve them from the inside out.
Okay, but what I'm saying is...
He also tried to do a full Jamestown massacre and get everyone to drink poisoned... I don't think it was Kool-Aid, but it was like... it was some kind of Bajoran drink, but yeah, no, he was totally trying to do it.
Okay, neither of these are good choices then.
It's almost like that's why we picked them.
Look, I take no responsibility for this because this is what chat voted for as the question. They wanted to know who should replace Deanna Troi, you know?
This is a controversial episode, Jesus Christ. Okay, so Pirate the Guy is the winner.
From your memory, yeah.
Oh, that's probably a reason. When I was... How old would I have been in 99? Was it 99, 2000, the last season of DS9? Is it about then?
Yeah.
Season 7, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like 99.
Old
enough to watch a woman get shot out the airlock.
Ducat. Let's call it for Ducat.
Star Trek's too violent. I missed it when people used to phase through the decks and get like blown up by replicators and get shot out the airlock.
Talking about it this week. I think it's quickly rising up the ranks for one of my most wanted card arts.
Oh my god, sorry. For some reason, whenever I trigger that, it triggers Alamarade. That wasn't intentional.
it's not that card. Okay, what is it? What is that episode called? The TNG one where they phase out of existence?
The next phase.
The next phase. That's a great episode, yeah.
So at the end, they're trying to, get them to flood the room with baryon particles or whatever. And then Ro looks at Riker playing the trombone. She goes, I guess now I'll never know what you were going to say about me. And she phasers him right through the head. So he's playing trombone and he's got this green phaser line going through his head. I would love to see that card art again. That would be so cool.
That's a fusion card. That's got to be a fusion card. I'd love that.
No, that'll be Riker and Ro sort of holding each other as they're phasing back into existence. So you could have phased LaForge and phased... sorry, not right. Yeah, LaForge and Ro, sorry. But yeah.
Excellent point by No Name Namer in chat. All of these options are great replacements for Troi.
They'd be better on the bridge for sure.
I sense we're in danger.
Not as good a partner for Riker, though. I can't imagine Nepenthe with Pirate Cult to Cat.
Can I just say, I think one of my favorite Troi moments is when they're on the bridge in Disaster, and she's like the only ranking officer, right? And they say, "Oh, we got hit by a quantum filament," and she's like, "Is that like this other like stellar phenomena?" And then O'Brien kind of just looks at her and is like, "No, it's a completely different kind of phenomena." And you can just see like the life drain out of Troi. She's like, "Oh, I thought I was doing something smart there. Fuck me, I guess."
No, it was like a string or something, right? Like a quantum string, or I'm like,
it was some ridiculous string.
That sounds vaguely similar to me.
Yeah, and then O'Brien's like, "No, you stupid! Like, shut up, or I Troi, you moron."
Shut up, Otto, you moron.
I like that pregnant pause as you were waiting for that. That was. I think I've said pregnant pause about 5 times today. Okay. I think we've gone through everything. Shall we do a quick behold? A couple of beholds. We'll call
hold on. let's preview the second half of this bracket.
Yes. Okay, hang on. I need to.
Because you've been familiarized with half of the names.
Yes,
and
let
you've
us.
voted them through. Let's see who we have on for next time.
Next time we have Tommy Gun Dixon? Yeah, Tommy Gun Dixon and Fury Kess. We have Armus versus Mirror Regent Worf. And Bojitsu Raika versus Wrathful Kirk, Groundskeeper Boothby, and Brainless Spock.
I'm feeling a strong, anger management vibe from this set of crew. You know?
Oh, it is.
A lot of yelling people.
It's definitely a good set. But let's do a couple of beholder meters before we call it this week. And I've got to press the right button. Okay, it is spinning. Stars, can you give me the sound? Can you?
You have a stream deck and you still need me to play with my Playmate
I actually do have a tricorder button here in case you couldn't make it one week. But, it's the personal touch. Does that need a new battery? That was definitely... Okay. Oh.
All right, calm down.
0 stars on Temporal Prisoner Chakotay, all 5 stars on Mobile Doctor, or 0 stars on regular vanilla Leah Brahms.
This actually might be one where Chakotay's the best choice.
Honestly, yeah.
Well,
'cause...
if you don't have cheesecake, would you take that? Obviously you've already immortalized a Mobile Doctor like an idiot. So would you take another star to get another a cheesecake to start with? It depends if you're after it or not. If it's cheesecake's the option, then you take the Mobile Doctor. But if not, I think Chakotay.
I mean, she's a decent option to do, even if you haven't already finished. That being said, Shattered is an amazing episode of Voyager. Yeah. So, and even though his power is on the wane, I still really like that to Chakotay, and it's I think I'd probably go for him just for the episode. This would be one of those where it's yeah, I know Brahms might make a voyage for me, but no, it's got to be Chakotay. He's just cool. He's just effortlessly cool.
Doctor, who would you pick?
I do like that Brahms.
Yeah.
I like that Brahms, and I quite like her art, and I do like those 2 episodes because it's
poor Geordi.
Geordi is the secondhand embarrassment is off the charts because it's like watching that car crash in slow motion where she goes to the holodeck, and Geordi's like, she went where? And you're like, oh my god, it's gonna happen! And then he walks. He doesn't walk in. He runs in and he does the electric slide and he stops and he stares at the 2 Brahms looking at each other. Every day you're with me. You're touching the ship. You're touching me. And I'm like, oh my god,
it's so bad.
Okay, so I was trawling through Memory Beta, which is always a fun thing. So Memory Alpha is the ultimate Star Trek wiki. Memory Beta is the repository for all the books, all the stuff that's non-canon, right? And I was looking it up, and I found one of the most incredible things ever. In the novel continuity, Geordi has 2 relationships, depending on who's writing. Either he's in a relationship with Leia Brahms, or he's in a relationship with some other female engineer. And then it became obvious that someone at the top was like, look, you can't have Geordi being in different relationships depending on what books he's in. He's not even referring to these other people existing. You had to fix this. And they were like, okay, we're gonna just have Geordi and Brahms sitting in a cafe in Paris talking about an open relationship they have with this other woman. And I was like,
I don't remember that.
It was in one of the books, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess that's the solution. I guess that's a way of cutting that Gordian knot.
That must have been after I'd stopped reading. Gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. The books went places.
Geordi
that were
in an
not
open
good.
relationship. Okay, I guess. I mean,
if you want to read apologies to the authors that wrote this, but I do not
I'm
like.
sure they're listening.
Well, one day they might be. Anyway, I do not like where they took Cisco. It's Jesus Christ, it's terrible. Go look at it. But speaking of that, you've heard of Memory Alpha. You've heard of now Memory Beta. Have you heard of Memory Gamma? Memory Gamma is the same thing, but all fan fiction work. It does actually exist. I was amazed at that, and I was thinking, is there a memory?
Tell me that the original Lieutenant Mary Sue is on that page.
Gosh, no, I don't. I've never actually looked. I know it exists, but I've never looked at it. But
I'm proud to say that despite Stars and I literally acting out fan fiction on this show, I've never read any fan fiction for Star Trek or any other show.
Your loss.
Okay.
those Mirror Warfare fanfics get pretty steamy.
I think Chad is pretty unified here by Chakotay. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think
Good,
I know
that
what
means
memory delta
we've
is now.
trained them well.
I think I know what memory delta is. Memory delta is the slash fiction. Okay, let's spin it again.
You need me to?
Yeah, please do. I'm going to spin that one again because that was too obvious. Okay. Okay, here we go. This one. Yeah. This one's a bit more interesting. Okay, so 2 stars on Choose Your Pain, Laurel. I forget the name. Is that Vengeful Laurel?
Vengeful, yeah.
Yeah. 2 stars on Lieutenant J.G. Palmer and no stars on EV Suit Archer.
Well, I know who you all could be picking. Idol, because you
JG.
absolutely go gaga for Palmer. Yeah.
Oh, good. Palmer's great. Not a great cut, but great. She's an astronaut. She's been farther from the Earth than any of you fuckers.
Okay. I'm sure that when I have a drink with her one day, she'll bring that up, and I'll feel really emasculated. I don't know where you're going with this. I don't know. These aren't great.
This is the Behold that has sparked 1,000 discussions about a reroll button for dilithium, you know? In the corner, I would pay 500 dilithium to not have to answer this question.
Would you not expand your EV suit collection?
The one I already have finished?
I mean, yeah, if I had to pick, I would take EV Suit Archer because I almost always take the best crew. I'm mirror VIP 0. Instead of adding a star, I always take the best crew. So it helps that I like Archer. I'm sure I'm one of the few, but he's got a good command base. Discovery events, if we think they've kicked the bucket and we're not going to see blanket bonuses, what are you using Laurel for? What does that 3rd star do for you? So
also, I have to tell you, I'm getting a message from Skycap, and she's saying you're cancelled.
Yeah, well.
Okay,
the shoddy way I've been treated this week, you're lucky if I ever come back on this show.
I'm gonna come out with a counterpoint, and I'm gonna say Laurel, for a few reasons. One, I absolutely adore Mary Chieffo, who is her actress. She's a massive Star Trek nerd, and I really respect that. 2, I love the art on this card because I adore that bright white armor with like the red, like almost samurai style spikings with the gems in them. I like that art a lot. That's
that
very,
bone?
very cool.
I feel like that's bone.
I feel like it's probably bone armor. That feels like very Klingon type of thing. And you say, what am I going to use her for? Well, we're on our 2nd Mirror Mega. We've had 2 Vulcan Megas. I could absolutely see a Klingon Mega down the road. And what's more, I could see the avenues for a Strange New Worlds appearance for Laurel.
Oh, I hope so. I really do.
That'd be cool. So I would go Laurel there. Partly that's like a case of also crew slot considerations. You don't want to be loading up on 1 out of 5 if you can help it. So I don't know. That'd be my choice. I'd go Laurel.
This is such an interesting Behold that literally nobody in chat has proffered an opinion on this.
All right.
We're all in different. Like he's gonna take Palmer, I'm taking Laurel, and you're taking Archer. Like I think this is the most interesting one we've had so far, and yet no one in chat is interested.
The other advantage of taking Palmer.
This is why we run a big book and they don't.
The other advantage of taking Palmer is yes, you do get it closer to the freezer. So one more, and we will call it for tonight because he always. This is addictive. There's always one more. All right, that was too easy. That was too... Oh, no, that was difficult. Okay, right. Okay. 0 stars. You get to choose between Data V, Bashir Julian Bashir, or Auto's favourite, Navarre.
Oh, come on.
All at 0. All 0 stars.
Now, here's the thing, though. This is an interesting one because both of the other 2 crew are in Vanity. And I know that Otto has been telling me that he actually can finish all Vanity.
Is Navarre not the ultimate Vanity crew, though? It's a green girl.
He's not wrong there.
I mean, if Bashir was showing a bit more midriff, would you be as...
I think that's your star stance.
I'm going to go with Data for this one. Because I want to finish off Holodeck Enthusiasts. I like the art, and I want a royalty event. I don't know about a mega, but a royalty event would be fun.
Yes, for Carlos, so we can finally use him.
Kailash.
Yeah,
Carlos.
it's still Navarre. Sorry, guys. Best base, best voyage, best midriff, like you said. So easy pick.
Still Navarre.
Saia. I figured out how to pronounce her name. Saia Batten. So
the actress for Irina and for Navarre. Was she was someone else as well? She appeared in
I
another
believe she was Toya Zial, yes.
Oh, she was one of those, yeah, one of the Zials.
So she was Zial for 2 episodes, and then they had a different Zial
much
for
like the fifth Doctor,
third.
she was the fifth Zia.
And then they picked another actress for all the rest of the appearances. So yeah, we had 3 different Zial actors.
I'm gonna have to admit, I never noticed all the ZL actors as I watched through. I imagine next time I do a watch through, I will. But that's just a comment on my own observation skills.
That one, I can't think of the actress's name, but the one who was second in line to play Zial. That was the episode where she goes to Garrick's tailoring shop and asks him if he wants to go lay in the heat caves or whatever on the hot stones.
Yeah, that was
and
hilarious.
Garrick can't figure out if she's been sent to kill him or if she actually just wants the company. And she, I think she was the youngest of the actresses, so she had this very like innocent. I think at that point, the actor anyway, is like 20 years older than her. So there's this very different dynamic between them. So he shows up in the holodeck, and he's trying to figure out still if she wants to kill him or hang out with him. So they have this long talk. She convinces him. He goes, "I guess I won't need this." He pulls out the phaser and sets it on the side, and then they become friends. So
that's such a Garrick interaction. I like that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with my guns and go Data the Fifth. Like it's
I think
Data has a lot of these like variants where like he was in that outfit for all 5 seconds, like because they didn't know what to do to fill time on a TNG pre credits. But I don't know, he's fun.
You know, I love you picked Mona Loves It Boss. Mona Loves It's Boss. Then we could have another 3-way. I should have thought that sentence before I finished it. Sorry. If you want to make it another 3-way, you know, pick Bashir.
I don't know. I think I have to go Data on this one. Although, you know, if you want to, nah, it's Data. It's Data. It's always Data. It's always Data.
You were looking into that green midriff, like.
Just falling.
But then
my eyes go that
the episode of Enterprise actually is.
Yeah, my eyes go that way, but my heart goes to Data. So there you are. And on that note, I believe it's time for us to end the show. Next time, coming up this week, if I manage to get it edited in time, we shall have another Site Advice show appearing on the YouTube channel Auto. Who is our willing victim this week?
I believe he goes by The Big Ticket. And in chat, I think he's Florian Greer. So, yeah, we started looking at that. I think we're going to record it later this week, and then we'll see how much free time Idle has to do the editing for it.
So hopefully that should be up sometime next week. So keep an eye on the channel. On the channel, we also have our stream, which we did last Friday. Me, Stars, Sky did a bit of, and sort of Big McLarge Huge did a bit of a pack opening for about 3 hours, which was probably too long, but that was fun. We had some fun with that. So if you missed the stream, go watch that. We will be back next week, as always, with another show. I believe we are going to do. We're going to do next week, the week after we should have another guest on. December 23rd, we'll take a break. I think we're going to have a week off because it's Christmas. As you can tell, all my fantastic Christmas lights here. But from myself...
I thought you were just rejiggering the main energizer.
This is the inside of Data's head that I'm inside. It's all those LEDs that just flash.
Yeah.
This is not the correct port, sir.
Nudie and Soong just went, you know what would be nice in here? Christmas lights. Why not? Let's fancy it up a bit.
Just went down to the pound shop. These will do.
But from myself, from Auto, from Stars, we will see you next week, and hopefully it'll be a fun one, and we'll talk more about the Mega. So for now, ta-ta!